let me finish.
Okay, well, I thought I had, but go ahead.
Okay, y'all, let's take turns and let each other finish.
Welcome to Let Me Finish, the podcast where three minds give their unfiltered and sometimes unpopular opinions on all the craziness going on in our lives and in this world. We're your hosts, Jillian,
Janice.
And Michael.
Settle in and let's take a deep dive.
Let's go. Another episode of Let Me Finish. This is episode 69. I'm so immature. So yes, I'm your host. I'm Janice.
I'm Jillian.
And I'm Michael.
Let's go. All right. So, yeah, I think this week, I mean, we don't need to talk about our weeks. We kill y'all to death with our weeks. And I think we're trying to record a couple episodes while I'm out. So just so y'all know. So anyway, so going into what our little game is, right? We're doing a game this week. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's really not a game. It's more like, let's talk about our favorite cuss words and why they're our favorite cuss words. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. So Jillian, you go first.
Okay.
To start it off rough, honey.
Okay. So I already told them this, but my favorite cuss word is motherfucker.
This is going to be an explicit episode.
Yes. Yes. And actually, Kamala Harris has asked the same question, and she chose my word as well. So she didn't actually say it. She goes, I can tell you that, but I can tell you it starts with an M, and it starts with an M. And
yeah, it's definitely, yeah.
Yes.
There's no other cuss word that starts with an M.
Yeah. So I was just like, ooh, perfect. And
so now she feels like you're in good company?
I'm in good company. Now, mom's like, I didn't raise you that way to cuss like that. Whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah.
She's not a big cusser.
I love to hear it. You know, that's like Samuel L. Jackson's like tagline. That's like every movie. If he's not dropping an MF every other, scene, it's not a good Samuel L. Jackson movie.
It's a pretty good cuss word. It's a pretty funny cuss word.
Yeah.
Because you really can't make it funny.
Yeah. It's very versatile. Like Bernie Mac said at the end of Kings of Comedy, it is a noun. It's an adjective.
No, it's a noun. It's a person, place, or thing.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so I feel like it's very versatile. You can pop it in anywhere, and I just love it.
Yeah, I get it.
And it's impactful. And we're just like, I could be, oh my gosh, motherfucker, get out of here. And it could be like, no, motherfucker, what are you doing? So it can, depending on the tone, it can mean different things.
Super surprised. Okay.
What?
I'm just like, because I like just fuck.
Yeah. That's a great one.
But it's not my favorite, but I say fuck a lot.
What is your favorite?
I go into phases where I cuss more and then I'm like, oh, I'm not ladylike, I should stop. So I kind of stop. Bitch. Yeah. I like to call a good bitch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I say bitch a lot.
Yeah,
Probably
we
more
do.
than I should. And so it's funny, which I know our mom's gonna hate it, but it's her favorite cuss word too.
But you say it.
It is because she call it like bitch. It's like a term of endearment.
That's what I was gonna say. It's
Yeah.
not
Like,
malicious.
bitch.
Yeah.
Like, because that's what
What
I'm
up,
saying.
bitch?
You can use bitch in a really friendly way. What up, bitch?
Yeah.
What's going on, bitch? Bitch.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna tell you some tea, bitch.
Yeah.
Right?
Or it could be derogatory too.
Or it can be like, you a motherfucking bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It definitely depends on tone. And please understand,
your intonation really doesn't matter with that word.
but our mom did say, I may use this word with y'all, but don't ever let any man call you a
that,
bitch.
yeah.
I love
was
that.
like, got it, Mom. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, no. So I actually really, you can call me a bitch. It's fine. Because as long as I'm being a bitch. I don't know, and?
Yeah.
You're such a bitch. And?
I mean, that's Queen
I'm pissed off.
Latifah. I think.
Yeah.
I'm pissed off.
Yeah.
So I am being a bitch. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with a woman being a bitch.
But if a man's pissed off, what is he? He's a bitch too, right?
He's a punk.
He's a punk. He's an asshole.
You a little punk.
No, he's CEO. That's probably what it is.
Damn, Jillian.
He's what?
She said he's a CEO.
He's a future CEO.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
Harsh.
double standard, but yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, bitch is a good word.
Yeah, bitch.
Because every time I think about, the different ways you can use bitch, because
It's so versatile.
You've heard Queen Latifah's UNITY, and she talks about, who
Who you calling a bitch?
UNITY,
Yeah, I've never been a person that's like, he called me a bitch. And I'm like, and I was being a bitch. And he deserved it.
I think it definitely, it's context and tone.
Yeah, so it depends. Like, if you're calling me a bitch for no reason, we're gonna have words.
Yeah, there's certain times when you use it, you're gonna get that left hook. and deserve it, but other times, it can be playful.
You're gonna get
Yeah.
Exactly.
call me?
Record scratch for sure.
Everybody stop.
Yeah. Would you just call me?
Sorry. Did you want to read yourself while I'm listening?
Yeah. Exactly.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Michael, what's yours, Michael?
My favorite curse word, she has changed 6 times in the process of this discussion.
Okay.
But honestly, my favorite is kind of a conglomeration. It's God fucking damn it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, damn.
That's like a. Do you use that when you're really upset?
If I'm really upset, like with my
God
ex,
fucking damn it.
I'd be like, God fucking damn it. And it just feels so good to say it.
It's cathartic.
Yeah, the the God.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say, my second is definitely fuck.
Yeah, there's something about the plosive. The
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mom's going to love this episode.
Absolutely.
She's
Just skip the first 7 minutes.
Like, just skip over that beginning part. No, nothing to see here. So,
no, I want to hear about your week.
There's
Don't
no
worry
week. There's no week. There's no week.
Don't worry about it.
Because actually, because she was saying we need to get to this topic sooner. She actually said that to me on the phone. I was like, understood. We will work on that.
Loud and clear.
But we do be talking. Honey.
Yeah, because interesting things pop up and we want to talk about those things.
So y'all give us feedback. Does the tangents, do those bother y'all? Or do you kind of love them?
And if it bothers you, then fuck you. I'm just kidding. Totally kidding.
We're still open to feedback.
Yes, we're open
We
to
are.
feedback.
We like constructive criticism.
But be kind.
Don't be too mean. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people are so mean.
I do
I'm
have
like,
feelings, just a few, but please don't step on them.
When my friends ask me to describe the podcast, I never know how to describe it. I'm like,
I know they're like, "What do you guys talk about?" I'm like, "Everything."
yeah, we talk about
Yeah.
a lot of stuff.
I usually say current events. I say current
Yeah.
events, whatever's going on, whether it be pop related, new, like political, earth, like any big topic going on, we try to discuss. And then of course I feel like we also do a deep dive into like emotional things. So it's kind of hard to say.
Yeah, it is hard to say, especially when like I tell my friends that we spill tea a lot because we do.
Yeah.
Tell your friends. I'd be like, I quiz my friends. I'm like, what did we talk about this week?
Yeah. Did you listen?
Did
to
you
it?
listen? Lakin.
Uh-oh.
She needs to listen. Oh. Yeah, I just called her out.
Yeah, just
Bit. No.
just
Failed the test. She failed the test.
just listening to the car. That's what I do.
Literally just tell her, I was like, on Wednesday, just press play. I said, I just need 2 minutes. I don't even care if you actually listen. I just want the listen.
Oh my God.
But I mean, that's why I said it. And she'll be like, different topics. She'll be like, oh, that would be a good one to listen to. I'm like, okay. Do you listen to it? She's like, no. At least she's honest.
She's busy.
At least she's honest.
She could lie and be like,
It was
Yeah.
so good.
What? I mean,
Michael was hilarious. Michael wasn't on this episode. So I know you're a liar.
Yeah.
You're a whole liar face.
Well, honestly, to defend Lakin, she's like, why does she need to listen to podcasts? She got Janice in real life, so
I mean,
she
I
gets
am
all the tea right
It's
there.
true.
Very entertaining. So there's that.
And now we like work together again. We sit right in front of each other.
Oh, you do? Oh, that's awesome,
Girl. We do work. I promise.
I believe it.
I promise we work.
Yeah.
But it's a lot more fun having Lakin there now. And I'm sure it's more fun if
Exactly.
I'm there now. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it definitely makes
Telling
when
my
you
work bestie
if
back.
you like your coworkers, I think it just makes everything go by so much faster.
Totally. Yeah.
That's so true because when I left my last job, I mean, obviously I wanted to move on and expand and grow. But I was really, really sad to leave the people. People were
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Some
It's
really great
always hard.
people. Yeah. Every time I leave it, like even when I left where I, left the job for that one, it was sad to leave those people. It's just, but the nice part is those same people still reach out to me. So
That's great.
Oh, that's good.
yeah, because
That
I was
says something.
managing them at, most of them at some point. So yeah, like
That's
I think
awesome.
I had one, like I made a post yesterday and this girl I managed when I was like, it's probably like a good 8-9 years ago. And she's like, oh, there goes my soup. Because I was a supervisor at the time.
Oh.
And then another girl made a comment and was like, oh, there goes my MGR. Because she used to call me the MGR. So
Oh,
I'm like, it's
manager.
cute.
Soup and
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Because I was a supervisor for that girl and manager for her. But it's just sweet. They
Yeah.
Yeah.
still reach out.
It's good that
That's nice.
you still have
An
impact
Yeah.
on their lives.
Yeah.
So
I have
be
a lot of
like-
people, they reach out to me time to time and just be like, hey, like, I was just thinking about you. I miss you. I miss your energy. I'm like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's good.
I had a professor that I had for one semester that still reaches out to me. She sent me a text message today saying, I was just thinking of you.
That's so sweet.
And I was like, oh my God.
What class was it?
This is my literacy class.
I always think about my high school teachers and if it would be weird if I saw them.
This is college. And like they don't normally do that, I don't think.
No,
do they?
no, I wouldn't.
I mean, just imagine how many students
right.
they deal with.
But we had a really good dynamic.
So you probably really impacted her and she probably really felt like
I cared and
that you cared and she cared about your
saw
growth
potential,
and she saw your potential and she probably really wanted to cultivate that.
Yeah, I was really touched because I told her I said I'm so sorry I haven't reached out. I'm bad at that.
Are you going to moving forward?
I will. I'll make a concerted effort too because if she's thinking of me, I need to make a concerted effort.
I need to think of her. Like,
yeah. Now, speaking of like literature and stuff like that,
since you are, I guess I will.
You did change your
handle. Yeah, I did. And then I changed it back.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was thinking.
What did you...
It was Castro the actor. It was Castro Wrights. It's been Castro Wrights all this time.
Yeah.
And then I changed it to Castro the actor.
Yeah.
For a couple weeks. And then
so I thought you were going back to acting.
Yes.
You are. That's probably why you did it.
That's why I did it. But then I felt silly because the reason I felt silly is because I can envision someone saying, "Oh, you're acting. What are you in?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I'm not in anything right now. I'll tell you when I'm in something." So I freaked out and changed it back to Castro Wrights.
Okay,
actors are not always currently working.
Yeah, just to defend yourself, I think that's an art that you studied. It's your passion.
Saying,
you've done it. So you're no matter what, you're an actor.
Yeah,
you're always an actor,
an artist. Like just because I don't have any new bodies of work doesn't mean I'm not an artist.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. I just got self-conscious.
I just like when I saw that, I'm like, oh my gosh, hopefully he'll do another play because
I do want to.
Because Michael's phenomenal at acting. So
yeah, I just remember it was a couple of years ago. I still have to actually have the playbill of when you were in the Tall Grass.
Yeah.
And when it was so sad, but you guys
did
such a good job in that.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
It was a very heavy subject matter, very dark, heavy subject matter, and it was just like I'm like. I've never seen you perform live.
It meant so much that you came.
And so I was just like, I mean, I'm like, Michael, like, acts, like.
Oh, he acts.
Yeah. It's just like, okay, I thought, okay, cool. I'm thinking, when I think of Michael, because, I mean, he's my little sister's friend.
Yeah.
Best when he's
and she's known him since he was 10.
When I'm thinking of Michael, he's still a little kid. I'm thinking a little... kids high school that's what he think of when I saw that. I'm like, oh, so like he like acts like he's like a professional. And I was just like, oh, okay, so that's when that image of you as an actor was completely shattered. So I was just like, oh my gosh, okay, so he's serious about this. This is something that it's not a kiddie thing for him.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Jillian. That means a lot.
I think every time I say that, my friend's an actor, and they're like, "Oh," I was like, "No, he's like an actor. Like he went to school for acting. Like, he went to Purchase.
Yeah,
like that's a big deal.
Yeah,
it's like a Juilliard.
Yes,
another Juilliard.
Yeah,
I thank you. I'm very touched, and I will go back to it at some point. I just changed my handle just because
you want a little bit more time.
Yeah,
I want someone to be like, "What are you in?" And I'll be like, "I'm in this," and that's
okay.
Yes, I am an actor. Here's what I'm in.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna cross my fingers and
I just said that.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think also if you put it out there, I think positive energy will come back too. You got to put it out in the universe.
I agree with you.
We'll have to change our outro. When you really change it and keep it changed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For sure.
And so you actually change your handles more than most.
Do I?
I've seen a couple.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, because mine was J Beauty Forever, and then I got locked out of the account. It's just been Uniquely Genius ever since. Like, I don't change my...
Yeah.
Julie, I guess you kind of...
I've never changed mine.
You never?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. Because one time, I think before, it was Casper just Salimi.
Yeah, Castro Salimi.
Yeah. And then it was Castro Wrights. Yeah.
You're right. I forgot about that.
But it was something before Castro.
You're right. Yeah. I don't remember what it was, but it was something else. Damn, I'd be fickle with the wind.
And I think maybe before that too.
Shoot.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, he likes to change it up.
But I do notice.
Never gets
like,
stagnant.
Wait a minute. That's not his name.
Yeah.
But yeah. So.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I think that's good. So I just noticed that. So I'm like, oh, maybe he's gonna go back into like really back into
the groove of things,
auditioning.
Well, remember you said something a couple weeks ago about
I did wanting to get back
into it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I will, and I'll keep you posted, and I'll keep the podcast
posted. Did you ever
posted.
Stop? So you stopped taking your music lessons?
Yeah, I did. I start things and I stop them.
But you know what? I love that you
tried.
I like that you start it because that's how you know if you'll love it. I say I'm going to do a lot of things and I don't do it. So.
Well, it sounds like an excuse, but it's expensive, those music lessons. They were not cheap.
I've wanted to take singing lessons.
Right. And you've always been passionate about singing.
But I'm like, I'm not finna spend the money on it.
It's too much.
It's a lot.
Too much.
It is what it is.
Like right now, I actually want to do like watercolor painting because they keep popping up on my For You page.
Oh my God.
I'm just like, I think I can do this.
That's awesome.
And I do like art. I've always liked my art classes. Those are my favorite. I think I feel very expressive in those situations. So I've thought about, okay, me personally, I was just going to go and buy the material,
just start doing
just like a starter kit, and then go on YouTube and take tutorials on YouTube. I just haven't pulled a trigger on it.
Yeah.
Because I've seen like people do like really cute like Christmas cards and stuff like that. So I'm just like, oh, I probably can just start something simple like a Christmas wreath or Christmas tree with like little ornaments and stuff on it.
Watercolors?
I love that.
Watercolor with painting.
Christmas? Oh, okay.
That's great.
Yeah, but Jillian likes that kind of stuff because like even like around Christmas and you go and I want to make a special wreath. I'm like, oh.
Yes, I did.
I buy them as is.
Right.
I've done
with
that.
the bows and shit already on it.
Yeah, for a long time, like the wreath on our door, I made that.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so I went to Michael's, bought the empty wreath, and then
I'm so lazy.
Did like all the ornaments and the accessories that's on there. I bought
because the idea sounds so nice for me, but I don't know.
Actually pulling it off,
I don't want to do it.
Yeah, it was like, fun. I loved it.
Even decorating a Christmas tree, I'm like. I mean, I want it to be beautiful, but I don't want to do all that.
I know.
She doesn't want to do the work.
I'm literally just pay somebody to come decorate it.
Truly.
Yeah, people, and there are people who that's what they do. Come like
that's exactly what I would do.
In the next like
November
couple weeks, they're gonna start putting up Christmas trees.
Because I have all like even like for Thanksgiving and fall and Christmas, I have all that stuff in my garage. Like, you'll see how long it takes me to put stuff up, and then I'll take me forever to take it back down. So, but anyways,
Christmas tree will be up until
March,
Valentine's.
But I think that's great, Jillian. I hope you get to explore that.
So yeah, it's something I'm just like, oh, I need to do more creative stuff. So
yeah, you're creative.
You're a creative person. So.
Yeah, you are.
But we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back, and we'll get into the main topic.
Just know when you roll with a nigga like me, there's no limit, baby. So if you've never been, tell our bitches love to take you there. You don't have to worry about a thing. I gotta let me show you better than.
Jillian be liking them. So we got Jillian go for a softer song this time.
She's our DJ.
Yeah, she's our DJ. DJ Jillian. I love her. I love that. I used to do that so much.
Yeah, little Usher.
Yeah. So this.
Oh, speaking of, because Usher did the last Super Bowl, so I guess this Super Bowl is going to be, because it's in New Orleans, it's going to be Kendrick Lamar. I'm like,
yeah,
he was there 2 years ago for Dr. Dre's thing in LA. So
he's super talented, but I don't know if he's a Super Bowl guy.
Actually, you know what? I really liked his section that he did during Dr. Dre's LA thing. So he has lots of great music. He's really good. I've seen actually Amazon actually does have a live performance of him. I think it was in Paris. It was a live concert they streamed through Amazon. No, when it comes to live performance, yes, he's absolutely he will be able to step up and do it. But my favorite is still Rihanna and Michael Jackson. So we'll see what happens. People were like,
your favorite performers was Rihanna?
Rihanna and Michael Jackson are probably my top Super Bowl performance that I personally like. I loved it from start to end.
Yeah, I think.
What about you?
I think mine was when Britney and like NSYNC and then Aerosmith did their performance together.
Oh, that was
vaguely remember that.
That was Aerosmith, and then like NSYNC
And then Britney.
and
Yeah, I love that performance. That was so good.
And Missy Elliott came through and kind of did like a.
Missy Elliott was with Katy Perry.
They came out and sang. Didn't they? Not
I thought
sing their
Missy
songs?
came out too with the Aerosmith.
Maybe she did,
Yeah,
but I think she was with Katy
yeah.
Perry. Because all the
I think she's done.
No, am I wrong? I might be wrong.
It was around that Pepsi time that Britney was like.
Yeah.
It was
Yes.
that time.
Yeah,
And I think that's why Britney was there and all them are there. And then also I do like Beyonce's performance in San Francisco with Bruno Mars and Adam Levine.
Oh, Bruno Mars could get it.
Yep. Girl. And
telling
you
you.
know how short he is?
Baby, he come up to your waist.
And
And
You're like perfect.
perfect place to be. Perfect place to be.
Oops. You're like
Michael's like,
perfect
that
angle.
is not a problem. That is not a problem at all.
Really?
What's your
Like,
point, Janice?
Yeah, because it was you that asked, like, oh, will we let Bruno Mars sit? And I'm like, hell no.
He's cute.
Yes, you were the only one that said yeah.
No, I don't.
You don't see it?
I don't see it.
He's not.
He has, like
He
I
has
said,
swag.
he has swag.
I
He
think it's
does.
just a swag.
Yeah.
He does.
As far as like physical attraction, no. But he definitely does have
just
swag.
so short,
Yeah.
such a. Anyways, let me not talk.
I just
about
think
it.
he's so
Let me
talented.
not just break this man apart. And, just
Be mean.
completely. Yeah, that's so mean because
Eviscerate
he
him.
does seem like such a nice
Yeah,
person.
Yeah.
Not that I know him, but he seems like a nice artist.
Yeah.
Like not
Laid
one of
back.
those.
Yeah.
Not one of those super
Pretentious.
arrogant ones. Or I mean, he could be. Well, I don't know.
John Legend is another one.
John Legend could get it.
Could get it. In a heartbeat.
I would love to be his Chrissy Teigen.
with him, he's a question.
it.
He's my question mark for me because he just seems. I don't know.
like,
Eh.
Little sus.
you think he's sus? You think he might
No, it just feels
dip
like.
into the other pond? I could see that.
I could see it.
I-
too.
No, I'm just saying he just seems. I guess for me, he seems a little too nice. I guess you would say.
Okay. So maybe it's like fake. or-
maybe too sugar coated. I guess.
Okay,
For me,
yeah,
it was just like I
that's
need
fair.
Who's
somebody.
too sugar coated?
John
John
Legend.
Legend.
I tell you, Jillian likes him.
No, I'm not
Jillian
saying. I'm not saying he needs
Breaks
to be.
that stereotype. You think she's this sweet innocent?
No. I'm
Julie?
not.
Look me in
Janice. I'm not saying like he needs to be like 50 Cent and be like, I used to deal drugs or whatever, anything like that, and I was shot 10 times.
He's too nice. The nice guys always finish last with you.
It's not even that. It just seems like he seems kind of like.
I would love to see
Nice
Jillian come home
as
with a
in-
bad boy. It would be crazy.
I would die.
It
No.
would be crazy.
No.
I'd be like,
I just
oh.
feel like it would almost be like you're boring. You don't seem like anything exciting.
I thought you
really
like
happened.
401k and stuff, shit. Like that kind
I
of shit
do.
and savings and talking about literally
Finances.
financial literacy
Yes.
and
Yes.
that's just boring, Julian.
Yeah, that's boring. But I also would want somebody who'd be like up for an adventure. Somebody who'd go and
Jillian's adventures like, let's go travel. Let's go
Yeah.
to a 5-star resort. That's
Yeah.
still boring.
it's not boring.
We're talking about the type
To
of fun
me.
where you
Like-
snort things off of body parts.
You know, I'm like, how wild are you trying to like? Now that's not could like.
Yeah.
That's wild. That's
Okay, so because of that 401k and all, financial and all this stuff, oh, you're so boring, Jillian, whatever.
I don't
so
think you're
for me to
boring, but for
say-
you to say that he's boring because you're like, but I'm like, why?
I just
I feel like y'all would get along great.
I just think that he is maybe, like I said,
He's
a
a
little
square.
bit too nice. He's a square. He just seems like
I always pictured you with a guy that would be like a little.
no.
Squarish.
I definitely want to. He's the kind of
He
person
gotta have a
like
little
I said,
roughness to him.
not
a
even
roughneck.
roughness. I just feel like somebody that even like he doesn't even seem like he has a sense of humor, like that dry,
I see what
like.
you're saying.
Oh, okay, that's
so
different.
you just
then.
mean like dull.
He's just
Yeah,
a dull person.
Yeah,
like
I just think he's dull. He doesn't have like I want somebody
he
with a
doesn't.
great
He wouldn't make you laugh.
personality.
He
Yeah.
wouldn't make you laugh.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, he wouldn't
just-
entertain you.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, for
You're
me,
like-
he doesn't seem like a very fun personality. I
Yeah,
guess I should say that.
I
When I say
understand.
sweet, I just feel like, or when I say boring,
Vanilla.
it's just generic.
Yeah, generic.
Yeah, he's
I love vanilla.
yeah,
I do too.
very talented. I'm not gonna.
No, I
I'm
like
not
him
knocking
rough.
his.
I like roughnecks.
I know you do.
I know you do.
Yeah.
I got
I
a
do.
question for Jillian
Yes.
before we move on. Stefan from Family Matters, pass or smash? Urkel, when Urkel would turn into
No, I don't like Jaleel White in general. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I'd pass too. He was not attractive to me.
Not even as Stefan?
I mean, maybe as a kid.
When we were 7 years old,
maybe as
he
a
was
kid,
cute.
I was like, oh. But in general, no.
Not now.
What the show is trying to do, not even then, but what their show is trying to do as far as like how they hammed him up as Urkel versus Stefan.
He has swagger.
I mean, there's a big difference. There's swagger, but it's just as far
Like as far as Jaleel White as the like an attract like the looks.
Yeah, it's
no.
Yeah.
But I guess Stefan maybe.
Well, remember on the show they had like
he was super cool.
He would come on and the audience would be like, ooh,
When he would come out of the little machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I just never seen. That's not how I've ever seen either the character or the actor in that way. Not saying that he's ugly. He's just, for me, it's kind of like, okay.
I feel like he kind of ruined it for me with Urkel. So
Yeah.
So I probably would never see him
as anything besides Urkel.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, Urkel's too nerdy. Oh, at one point I wanted a nerd.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with nerds per se.
I think the older I get, the more I'm like, I need a nerd. I need somebody who's gonna sit down.
There's like those nerdy guys that are in their books, but they also
like I can't have you want to be as wild as me. Cause I can't Cause when I'm ready to like calm down, like I need you to be ready to calm down with me.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think
you need somebody the opposite. I think for me, when I see you, I'm like, my sister just has this really great big personality. I've always seen you with somebody who would be a compliment to that, the yin to your yang.
Subdued. Be a little bit more quiet.
A little bit more quiet, more subdued, and that will allow you
me to
shine.
Not be intimidated by like almost cheer me on, like, go on, babe. Like,
yeah, but like, oh, that's my
purse.
Yeah, that's like that's my girl right there. Like somebody who's gonna be like
ultimately that. I think that's the type of person I would have to have.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I do.
You're right, Jillian. I see that.
Yeah. Somebody who's gonna be your biggest cheerleader, and when they see you out there just being you, they're gonna be like, that's me right there.
Yeah,
that's my baby.
I go home with her every night.
It's my baby. Come on, baby.
Yeah. Like when you do big things,
they're even more excited. They're
more
even
excited.
happier for me than they are for themselves.
They're like,
just be obsessed with me.
Yeah, exactly.
Be obsessed with me.
Yeah,
absolutely. Think I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread. You know, I think I just need more of a submissive man. I really do.
That's
submissive. I wouldn't, not even submissive, because I don't really want submissive, but again, I think you have to have enough confidence to allow me to be myself and not feel like, oh, she needs to calm down, dim her light, not talk as much, not be as loud.
You should never do that for anybody.
And then, you know, like,
and that person would have to have their own thing going on.
Yes,
they have their own.
Can't be their world.
Yeah, you cannot be their world, because in that case, then it doesn't end well.
Yeah, well,
but yeah, they need to have their own thing, their own.
And just be like, just cheer me, like, just like I would want to cheer him on, you know?
Exactly.
So, I agree. I need them to have their own thing, because I would need to respect you.
Yeah.
So I would need you to have your own thing. So
yeah, exactly.
Okay. Even though that has nothing to do with the subject, but I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And thanks. So we're gonna talk about the debate. I mean, how can we not, right? So one thing I will say for sure that I was really impressed by was how well Kamala did with holding her composure.
Yes.
When blatant lies were said about her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, because, you know, I feel like the last election with Biden and Trump, it was just like it was a joke. Yeah. The debates were a joke. You could hear you couldn't hear anybody, and then they were just throwing insults at each other, and you know. And I like Biden, but I was like, even like he got to him, right? Like that's what, and that for me, that's what he'll do. He'll kind of like pick at you to the point where you'll snap, and then you'll do something foolish, and then he can. That's
his goal.
Yeah, ultimately use that against you. So I do have the shirt that says, "Will you shut up, man?" Though, so
yeah,
I do have that shirt.
And I think that's why, because they
Will you shut up, man?
Because they, before the debate, that was one of the things they were going back and forth when they were debating the rules for the show, was whether or not the mics would be muted when they were not talking, which I think that was, I think Kamala wanted the mic hot, so that way when he said like stupid shit under his breath, it could be caught on the mic, which I said, no, don't do that, because if you allow this man to have a hot mic the entire time, he will talk over you. You will not get a word in edgewise.
Yes.
So I did like the fact that...
Did they have a mute?
I mean, sometimes you would hear him. It would be muffled because the mic was muted, so you couldn't quite hear him. But sometimes you would hear him talking, but because...
Oh, I didn't know they were doing the muted mic.
Yeah, so the mic... So whenever it's not their time to respond, their mics were muted. So I think that was... I love that portion of the... So you can actually hear what they were talking about whenever they're doing the rebuttal.
That's what I was thinking. Because, again, when Trump and Biden had their debate, it was like a show. It was... You were I mean, I think people tuned into this debate to see another show.
Yeah.
Right? So, because everybody was like, oh, I'm got my popcorn ready because you were expecting that. It felt
like it was like a political Super Bowl for real.
Yeah.
But I feel like what you said, Jillian, was so true. Like, she couldn't come off as the angry black woman. So she did a very good job with holding her composure.
She had to. And I think another thing that was good is because, they had two moderators. I think they were able to kind of go back and forth and be able to keep up with the things that are being said and fact checking real time.
Right.
And then also the fact there wasn't an audience. So they couldn't, and I think Kamala really didn't really matter to her, but with Trump, he feeds off of a crowd when they react to him and he gets the reaction that he likes, he will delve deeper into that and play into that and get,
you know what that is? That's sales. That's where I always say he's a salesman. Yeah. Because with sales, you go off people's reaction to say, should I go deeper into this part of the conversation? Because you just said, oh. So now I'm like, oh, that's something you like. Or if you go, so I lean into that. Or if I talk about something, you're like, I'm like, oh, well, what don't you like about that? Like, I let your reactions tell me how to keep going.
Exactly.
So I do think that's his sales.
Yeah. And so, and then now with all the analysis, they were saying that she would constantly bait him. And the one thing I would say with the debate, both of them, there are times where there would be, and there's one particular time I wish Kamala had gotten into this. And I thought Trump had an opportunity to actually, get her on a particular subject. And when they were talking about the tariffs and they were talking about, hey, whatever however percentage is 20 something percentage that he had increased it on foreign goods coming into the United States. And he is, that percentage that it's set at, I said it, but you guys complained about it. But whenever you guys went into office, y'all didn't change it. Why is that? And when she did her rebuttal, she never answered that question. Because my thing is, he has a point. Why didn't she change it? And when I thought about it, I'm like, what's the point of changing it? Because at the end of the day, those tariffs, they do pass it on to consumers. So even if I think with most corporations, once they realize that their consumers will pay the price, even if they lower the tariffs and they paid a cheaper price, they're going to keep the prices the same so they can pocket the difference. Sure. And pad their bottom line. So I'm just one of those things like, let's just leave it where it is. It's
and if she would have answered that question in the way you just answered it, it would have come off like she would isolate other people from voting for her, don't you think?
Yeah, and I think that's why
you don't want to throw a wrench about all these people and the corporations and what they do, and
exactly, and that's why, and I think that's why they did what they did, but you can't say that out loud. And she completely skirted around the question and kind of threw it back on him. And honestly, between his tangent on people eating pets.
Oh my God. Yeah. I think the craziest part for me is the fact that the pets thing was probably the biggest topic that came out of the debate. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it was
so mainstream. It's everywhere. Like, if you know anything about the debate, you know that Trump talked about people eating animals and then she pets.
Goaded him with the crowd size of his rallies. Why are you so triggering that? The quickest way to trigger him, because I think once because
he wants to be popular and he wants to be liked.
Yeah, and I'm just like, sir, you've never won a popular vote, so I don't understand why you're obsessed with this. But once she got him on that tangent, I felt he became unhinged. He got louder, angrier, like always trying to interrupt her, but because the mics were muted, he wasn't able to effectively do that. And then she would comment and they're like, okay, we're gonna move on. He goes, no, I want to respond to her rebuttal. And they're like, okay, fine, we're gonna give you 60 seconds to do that or whatever. So her debate prep, you can tell, they were prepared.
Oh yeah, I thought she did like I said, I was, first of all, immediately impressed, and to be fair by both of them, how calm they were in the beginning. I was like, oh, look at y'all. Letting each other talk.
Civil.
Let each other speak. Because like I keep going back to the 2020 election because it was just a joke. That's why they were like, should we even have debates? Will it be
they
effective?
go back and forth with Biden and Trump.
Like, will it be effective? I don't know.
I kept thinking about the 2016 debate when Hillary was literally being shadowed by Trump. He was
the town hall.
The town hall. Yeah, he was up against her, trying to intimidate her. He was
pacing back and forth
like a shark. People were like, he was ready to pounce
instead of
on
sitting
her.
on his seat, he was pacing back and forth behind her.
I will say, and I think you guys might have said it before, but I do feel like out of every person I've seen in the last, since Obama, Hillary's the most qualified person out of all of them.
Oh,
out of all of them.
Absolutely.
100%.
Out of all of them. It's
Obama,
crazy.
who I respect more than pretty much anybody, said that she is the most qualified person to be president.
Yeah.
From
And
Obama.
and
I
to
agree.
be honest, as
I
far
think
as
it's
like
crazy she didn't win.
I
It's
know.
crazy.
she won the popular vote.
Would have been such a better situation.
I know.
Yeah.
Things would have been so
Well,
different.
as far as like public office, I think actually Kamala has more public office experience than Hillary, because she did her Senate run,
yeah.
and then she did
First
her
lady first, and then she did her
I don't really consider that a political
Sure.
What
That's fair.
appointment.
What position?
Because she
First
was
lady.
First Lady of Arkansas and, of course, First Lady of the United States. She does have her law degree. She's...
You don't think first ladies?
No, I don't. Mm-mm.
So you don't think that? Michelle Obama was considered a political leader?
A sense, and not a political... I think she is
She never had a political seat.
to actually affect actual policy, to actually work on actual policy and get it done.
Fair.
I don't know. So that's the first lady. I'm like, I'm not saying she doesn't have influence
Or
I'm kind of
value,
saying
yeah.
She does have value. She does have influence. That's something that I think anyone who's well known and has a platform, they can have influence. But as far as to actually, do actual work that actually gets bills passed, and so you have her as district attorney, as attorney general, her work in the Senate, vice president. That's over a 21-year public office or public service career
And she's still young.
had, and she's still very young.
Yeah.
So do you feel like because maybe she has more experience, but qualified?
I think Hillary and
Who's more qualified?
they
Well,
both
I
have
guess technically
different.
you can't say. I guess you can't really say that because it's just a matter of who you like more almost at that point.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I think most people that love Kamala loved Hillary.
Yeah, I think
a lot
so.
of them.
Yeah, I
at
think
least.
so.
Not all of them, but
The people who don't.
yeah,
If you don't like women, but maybe you don't like black women.
that's true.
Yeah, when it comes to when Obama, he just needed to strike while the iron was high, because he didn't have a lot per se of political
He was a
experience.
I think it
community
was
organizer.
just. I
He's
think
a community organizer.
He came in at the right
He was
time.
at this. He was a state.
came in at the right
He was at
time.
the state senate, and then he was a representative for Illinois. So
He's such a great
Not saying-
speaker.
Yeah.
and that's what it was, because
Sure.
what launched him into the public sphere was his
Democratic National Convention.
exactly. And so people were like, wait a minute, okay, I like him. He definitely struck when the iron was hot. And
love him.
So I think it was just great timing
Yeah.
for him. He just
So talented.
He's the closest thing to a benevolent leader I think we've had.
He's the
He's so great.
He's probably the most the wisest man that
Ever lived.
Yeah.
yeah.
He's like Yoda, but a lot younger.
Yeah, right. Like he is what we should be all aspiring to be.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do love him.
And I
just
think
love him so
anyone who runs anyone, when you're in public office, especially with the presidency, I think they're forced to run on their ideals, but they have to govern in reality. And the truth of the matter is as president, or
You have
these great ideas, but unfortunately you cannot do it all on your own.
Of course,
So if you're
yeah.
not getting, because all the president does is sign the stuff. They're not creating the laws.
No.
So for me, don't they always say, like, especially when I was seeing last night when they were talking about how, well, why haven't you done it? And why haven't you done it? And I'm like, I heard From my understanding, the first term, you don't get to make a lot of changes. The second term is really where the changes are made.
And the truth of the matter is that, and she had to point this out several times, I'm not Joe Biden.
Yeah.
You're not running against Joe Biden. Just because Joe Biden did things a certain way and she does have to fall in line as vice president doesn't mean that's her. Because remember, when they, in 2016, when we were figuring, was it 2016?
That's when Hillary lost.
I'm sorry, 2020.
Okay.
When we were figuring out who was going to be the nominee. I'm sorry, 2020. For the 2020 election, when we figured out the nominee, and we had all those Democrats lined up in the primary trying to figure out who was going to be our nominee. I don't think Biden and Kamala were that. They still had their.
Yeah.
They kind of like knocked heads a little bit.
She was friends with Beau. I know that.
Yeah, she was. I mean, you can have different ideas of how things could be done, or different ideas of how to fix things, and still be friends.
Yeah, of course.
So it's not. That's not a thing. But I feel like sometimes their philosophy at times can diverge from yourself. Just because Biden decided to do something a certain way doesn't mean Harris is going to do that way.
Well, yeah, because you're the vice president. Like, what really say do you have?
Yeah,
you don't.
You overlook the Senate. You're the last.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like.
You're the tiebreaker.
You're the tiebreaker. You're not even really.
Yeah, they're tiebreaker, and really, honestly, you're there to sell what the
president's given.
Yeah, you're there to help support him and get.
And then the event of something happening, you become president.
You can become president.
That's the position. Yeah. Were you gonna say something, Michael? I feel like you were gonna say something. It was a question I asked, and Juliet answered.
I don't remember,
Dang,
but
I forgot the question I
will say that I agree with you that Joe Biden and Kamala in the beginning, maybe, but like during the debates, the primary, I never would have necessarily like put them together. But when he did choose her, I was like, you know what? That's actually it
was the perfect idea for him.
I never would have thought
it's a balance.
It's a balance.
It's a total balance, and I think that was.
But
that was the point.
I like that he always said like it's going to be a woman.
Yes,
I like that he always said that.
I love that.
Yeah. It needed to be. I think almost.
It was time, and it had to happen. I do feel like it had to happen with the vice president before it could be a president.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think almost
you had to like ease him in.
Yeah.
And I also think it's like a consolation prize for what happened in 2016 as well.
Yes.
I think that was a way to kind of be like, damn, she should have won, but it didn't work out that way, and it still sucks. But and I think the number one thing, though, I say with Kamala is the moment when she's talking about Donald Trump inviting the Taliban to Camp David.
Oh yeah.
And she was going off, and she goes, and this. And she paused and she kind of swallowed.
And she goes,
former president. I know she wanted to put a cuss word in there, and it was probably her favorite one too. So.
And this mother.
But she had to reel it back, swallowed it, and he goes, former president.
That angry black woman almost came out.
Almost for a split second. She's like, oh, you're not going to get me.
See, that's why I wanted to be like. I was like, when he keeps saying, is she black? Is she black? I bet she can show you. I piss her off. I bet she can show you how black she can be.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He goes, and the thing is like when they asked about the race, and David Muir, which I think he's great, when he goes, do you think it's your place to comment on her race? And he goes, I don't care. He just should have just kept it that way. I don't care. She can do whatever she wants. I don't care. And just kept it the way it was, but he just had to keep talking. I was like, sir, you had the perfect answer. I don't care. It's whatever she wants. It's none of my business.
What did he answer? What was his answer?
Because I think when Kamala when they went to her and they're like, and he pretty much talked about all the racist shit that he's done, he got angry. And then just went off on this absolute tangent. I was just like,
usually people do get angry when something truthful is said about them.
Oh, yeah. Because, they talked about Charlottesville, and he talked about January 6th, and of course he completely flipped out. And I was just like.
And him not losing the election, he brought that up.
Yes, and he goes, 80 million people fired you.
Love that.
And
he's still to this, even right now, he's already talking about how they're trying to steal the election. So it doesn't matter. He'll never take losing graciously. That's just not him.
He's not a
gracious loser. So
yeah. And then when David Muir brought up I don't know if it was the woman, I can't remember the woman's name who's a moderator. One of the moderators brought up and said, you said that you lost huge, bigly, whatever, all those dumb adjectives he likes to use.
Like I said, huge, very small, all, none.
Yeah. Absolutes.
It's absolutes always with him.
Yeah. And then I guess in a recent interview, he goes, "We lost by a whisker. We lost by a hair."
Yeah.
And it's like, are you now admitting that you lied?
He is.
And he goes, "Did I say that? I didn't say that." He goes, "Yeah, you did. It's right here." And they're like, "Oh, well, I was being sarcastic."
Yeah, he said he's being sarcastic.
Because he said we lost by a hair.
We lost by a hair.
Oh, look at him saying we lost.
Because that's what he's saying. He's like, "Are you now admitting that you lost?" He goes, "No, I'm not." He goes, "But you said it right here." He goes, "Oh, I was being sarcastic." I'm like, "Okay, whatever."
I don't think he knows what sarcasm is.
I don't. That's what I'm saying. I think he just talks. He doesn't always think about what he's saying.
He never thinks about what he's saying.
And
he's just
yeah,
says whatever.
And Putin's his bestie.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that when he started talking about Putin and all the oligarchs, and she said that she brought up, I don't remember how she worded it, but do you remember she said something like, the people that work for you don't even
the military, your military don't even
you. They don't support you.
They don't support you. They're against you. Pretty much told, she goes, "I talked to these war leaders. You're a laughing stock."
Yeah.
And I think, and that's when he has a dumbass smile that he does where his lips come to like a thin line and they go from ear to ear. I'm just like, you look so stupid, but
yeah. No,
poor guy. Because I was looking at him. Hold on, he just looks so angry and miserable and just. Ugh.
He just gets so red. It's like
he's just so red and just weird and just. What's wrong with you?
I think. First of all, I think he got a new dye job on his hair, and
probably.
I think he did because he looked lighter underneath the light. The highlights looked. His hair looks almost white. And
his skin is white.
Why doesn't he get some hair transplants?
And then I don't understand. I'm like, who is doing?
Yeah.
I'm like, are you in a tanning booth or do you do a spray tan? Because it's always the eyes that are.
Oh,
he must.
Yeah, he does. It came out. I forgot where, but he spray tan.
God, can you imagine who has to spray tan him? Girl, it's like, oh, girl.
It's probably Tiffany.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, Ivanka.
No, he likes her too much.
Ew. You remember?
Nasty, honey.
If you could date any
Melania. Melania's probably like,
no, she wouldn't come near him.
Motherfucker, I ain't doing that.
Yeah, she wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole.
No. It's crazy to me. Like, talk about just,
she wasn't even there.
Talk about literally just trying to keep your bag tight.
Yeah.
Because that woman hates him, but she is not going to leave him. I think the funniest thing I've ever seen is when she slaps his hand away. When he goes to reach for her hand, she just slaps it away. Mm-hmm. It's so discreet, but it's so funny because it's like, well, how dare you? How dare you try to touch my hand?
I brought it up in another episode of our podcast where she was right next to him and he said, Melania really wanted to be here. And she's right there.
She probably never talked to him that whole day.
He had no idea she was even there.
Probably because she didn't talk to him the whole day.
Let's be honest.
Like, she probably only stood there because she had to. And they were probably go stand next to him. She's like, fuck, all right.
And then he said Melania really wanted to be here today. And she just looked straight out.
She's like, I just showed up. I'm here, dummy.
I'm here.
That just shows you she's just a prop.
And then she don't even look shocked. She just looking like, I'm just here. I'm a prop. That's what I'm saying. I think she's fine with being a prop.
She's over it for sure.
Well,
she's definitely over it.
She's repulsed by him.
Yeah.
They don't even sleep in the same bed, that's fine.
They don't?
No. They haven't for years.
I mean,
I don't blame her.
They made one baby. Baron.
Baron.
Yeah, he's going to some college in New York now.
Yeah, and he's a delegate.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Why?
Because he's Baron.
All of his kids is gonna be in politics somehow.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nepo.
Yeah. Nepo.
You don't think not Eric? What's the other one? Don Jr.
Don Jr.
Everyone says he's
a foot.
Everyone says he's on coke.
Oh,
girl,
1,000,000%.
Literally, I feel like half of our entire government is on coke. I feel like half the world's on coke. So
I guarantee you, he's on coke.
Like some of the people you will never think are on coke are on coke.
Yeah.
Like,
wow.
It's such a rich people drug, too.
I've heard that rumor.
Like, rich people just do... Well, I don't want to say that. Not all rich people, but it is a very rich drug.
Yeah.
You got to have that.
You got to have it. Like, it's...
Yeah.
It's an expensive habit to keep up.
It is an expensive habit.
It kind of gives me, like... has anyone seen... I
wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know either, but...
Anyone seen American Psycho?
Yeah, I like that
movie.
Yeah.
He gives me what's his
Christian
name?
Bale
Christian
vibes.
Bale's character vibe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just like
I can always tell when somebody's like
Patrick Bateman.
a coker.
Patrick Bateman.
Yeah.
He
a
definitely
coker.
has.
I can always tell.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if I found out tomorrow that he, was
OD'd or something.
OD'd, yeah.
Who?
Don Jr.
I
mean, I'm not saying I want
only
him to.
thing
I'm
I
just
know
saying.
is when I hear about Don Jr., I always think about Audrey O'Day. Audrey O'Day.
What I think about is
She's
the
hilarious.
fiance. The fact that his fiance is Gavin Newsom's ex-wife.
I know.
That's the problem. Like, how
I know.
does
I don't know who
she
Gavin
pulls
Newsom is.
two totally
Kimberly-
different men?
Kimberly Geist.
She used to be on Fox News.
Fox News, and she used to sit there with her tits out. Look, I'm not.
Her tits out. Go
I
ahead.
don't
tits
watch.
out.
I didn't watch Fox News, so
I don't watch Fox News either, but I would watch her, and her tits would be completely out, and
Propped up,
her
ready
legs
to
would
go.
be poised up like this, like she's sitting on a secret. It was bad.
I never heard that.
I mean,
That's
I-
funny.
different.
Made it up.
Oh, you
But
did?
I think so,
I was like,
unless
that's
if I've heard it, I've
cute.
never heard of it. But anyway,
I never heard that. It's funny though. Like you're sitting on a secret.
They were married. But I was going to say another thing about. Oh, did you know that Laura? It's pronounced Laura, not Laura. Trump is trying to launch a music career now.
Why?
Because she's bored with the RNC shit. So she's like, you know what? I don't want to be the head of the RNC. I want to start a music career.
Oh my god!
None of those kids want to do that shit. None of those kids. Maybe Ivanka or whatever.
Well, that's just it.
Is it
Governing
Ivana or Ivanka? Is
Ivanka.
Ivanka the mom?
Ivanka is the mom. No, excuse me.
Ivana
Ivanka
is the daughter?
Ivana is the mother.
Yes,
Ivanka is the daughter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Stupid.
Yeah, I just the fact that what was I just saying?
Oh, I'm sorry. It was you were talking.
I was saying
Laura.
Laura wants to start
right.
Laura wants to start a music career because I heard a song that they released a portion of it.
Oh, and she was singing.
I encourage you folks that are listening to this, if you have 30 seconds to spare, which I know you do, go online and just type in Laura Trump singing.
I will. I'll actually do it right after the show.
And by singing, I
Bad?
used it to. Oh, she's just talking into the microphone.
Oh.
It's auto-tone.
Everybody jump up and get down.
It's like that song, Don't Be Tardy for the Party.
Don't be tardy.
No.
Bro,
It's
hey,
just like
listen.
that.
Don't be tardy for the party was catchy, though.
That's a better song.
Okay.
Friday by
And
that
then-
girl.
But then they tricked Kim Zolciak into thinking she could sing, even though it was just catchy shit. That's it.
Well, think of
Candy-
Rebecca Black.
Candy's what made it catchy.
Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think that level bad. And she's
What?
Rebecca Black Friday. Friday. Gotta
Everybody
get down on Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a piece of shit song. Anyway, Laura she's now trying to start a music career, and she went on Fox again.
No,
I don't watch
she's
Fox
a
News.
loser.
But
So
she went on
Laura is married to Eric.
Yes.
And how many kids do they have?
2.
Okay.
And Don Jr. has.
I thought he had 3
Oh, does he
with
have
the
3?
ex-wife.
Oh my God, all these people are procreating. Jesus.
Oh, you know what? I think you're right. He does have 3. I only know about the 2. I don't know.
I'm honestly, I'm
He
not.
probably got a couple others out there. Let's be real.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not 100% sure how many
Yeah, I'm
grandkids
not-
he
no,
has.
I'm not.
I know Tiffany doesn't have any. I know Ivanka
Well, he
has.
hates Tiffany.
Ivanka has.
Hopefully Tiffany
Ivanka,
hates him too.
Ivanka, does she have 2 or 3?
Oh,
I know she for sure has a boy and a girl.
I think she has 2. I think her and Jared have 2. I might be
Oh my
wrong.
God! Remember when we went to where were we at Ross's or something, and we saw Ivanka's little shirt on sale for like $1.99. I said, "Oh damn!"
It was still a full rack. Nobody wanted that shit.
I was like, "It was $1," and it was actually a cute sweater. It was like gray with a little
$1.99?
bling on it. It was cute.
She had her fashion line, and then after everything with
I
MAGA,
was like, "That's rude."
it went right to Marshalls.
I said, "It probably costs more to make it. Ain't nobody making no profit off this shit. No one.
and the rack was full.
Full of them."
Full. It was just a whole rack of her shit.
Wow, I'm surprised.
Well, you know, Dallas,
Yeah,
is a blue city.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
Yeah.
and we were in Dallas when we saw it. So
That's
Yeah.
funny.
I think she
I think the
ended up. I think
suburbs
she
is
ended
more-
up pulling back and not being retailers anymore, and then she opened like a little boutique in Trump Tower. And
that's
was
exactly
selling
what
her
she
stuff.
needs to do. She needs to sell to people who like her.
Stick with the brand.
Stick with the people that are
Hey.
going there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they like that name. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens, but yeah, them kids. I'm telling you, I'm just like, please don't run, because I guess when he was running against Biden. He goes, "Oh my gosh, we're gonna have 8 years of Trump, and then it's gonna be Don Jr., and then it's gonna be Ivanka, and then it's gonna be Eric, and then it's gonna be Tiffany,
Finally,
and then it's gonna be Barron."
To do what? To do what?
To
run
run
for
like
president.
every 8
Girl,
years
kill
a
me
new
now.
Trump.
Kill me
now, with everything that's being said, what do you think?
What?
If
Get
he-
off my TV.
If he loses, what do y'all think will happen with the Republican Party and MAGA?
That's a good question. Honestly, Jillian, I don't know because it's so fractured. I don't know what's going to happen.
I feel like the Republican Party is pretty over him too. I just think that they in their heads was like, he's gonna maybe win us the election. I think that's the only reason why they
don't like him.
No, I don't think.
Some of them do.
Not the people. I really feel like the people who really are involved or at the top, like they're really not super excited. But it's their party. What are you gonna do?
They put party over country.
Yeah.
And unlike Liz Cheney, who I have never been a fan of, but I respect
Still not,
immensely.
but
respect her immensely for what
She had
she's done.
like a small, tiny spine. I still don't like her, but whatever.
I don't
Small.
either. And then
Actually-
her daddy, who's a monster,
Dick Cheney.
endorsed Kamala.
Who's a
Huge.
monster?
Yeah, he's a war criminal.
Fell
He's responsible
off my
for the
chair
death of,
when I saw
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because first it was saying that it was Liz saying, "Oh, my dad's gonna endorse Kamala."
And
I'm
then
like,
he released-
"Bitch, I'm like, you lying? Your daddy ain't never gonna come out." And then he did come out and
released a
say,
statement.
"Yeah, Trump can never be president. It needs to be Kamala needs to be president." I said,
That's
what
putting.
I'm saying.
I'm so proud of
fell
them.
out
I
of
think
my
when you
chair.
see people like who would have never voted Democrat, who are like, yeah, no, we gotta vote. Like, people feel like they don't have a choice.
honestly, I think if he loses,
It almost feels like how, I'm not saying that's how I felt, but how probably a lot of people felt about Biden.
Yeah.
Like, it was really the only option, and
Right.
you just didn't want another Trump. You didn't want another 4 years of Trump.
He did save us. Say what you will.
Yeah.
Not
That's
you,
what I'm
I don't
saying.
mean you, but
Because
like say what a person will.
Yeah, say what you will, but the man, if
Saved
he
us.
was a placeholder, thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God there was a placeholder.
no, that's what I.
because I can't
that's how I
imagine
viewed
another 4
him.
years.
Yeah.
That's what I viewed him
But
as
that's
a
what I was saying.
placeholder.
I think a lot of people, the same way people feel about Biden is probably a lot of ways that a lot of Republicans feel about Trump.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're
It's
right.
like, hey, this is my party. I'm voting for him. I'm really listening to everything he's saying, but
Yeah.
he's a Republican.
I think
Yeah.
because I think there's like Republicans and MAGA. I think there's a difference. I think there's
Yeah, I do
a
too.
silent majority that is kind of like
I've never had
There's
a problem
nothing
with
we can do.
Republicans. I have a problem
Me
with
neither.
MAGA.
MAGA.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I have a problem with MAGA.
Yeah,
I'm the
and I
same.
think MAGA. I don't think they
I'm
don't
fine
have
with
large
you.
numbers. I don't think they're bringing new people in under their tent.
That's the problem. Yeah.
And I think really honestly, MAGA kind of is a direct downline from the Tea Party after
Yes.
Obama. I think
Absolutely, Jillian.
honestly, the Republican Party, if they were smart, they should have checked the Tea Party
100% agree.
in the beginning and be like, no. And that's one thing I do admire about Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things I disagree with when it comes to Nancy Pelosi. Like, bitch, you should have been retired. How can you, in all these years that you've been in office, that you have not mentored someone to take your spot? And so you're able to retire and kind of move on.
Right.
Is that
She's gonna be another McCormick, or what's his name? Not
McConnell?
McCormick.
McConnell.
She's effective.
She's effective, and she always got her people in line. What is that from Drumline?
One band, one sound.
That's who Nancy Pelosi is for the Democratic Party.
Yeah. That's
good,
She
then.
always had her people together. She's like, we may have different opinions,
But we gonna stand
when
together
we go
and
on the
united.
Sit at
floor
the
and
sta-
vote,
dinner table. And,
yeah, when we're on that floor, one band, one sound.
Yeah.
I do
that's
remember one thing I remember when Nancy Pelosi was, she was like, I would say good morning, but it's not a good morning. So.
I do remember
I was
that.
like, oh damn.
She went there.
She said it. She said, listen,
Grr.
I'm not gonna even act like I want to be here right now, but we got to do this.
I would
Yeah.
say good morning, but and then she just stopped.
And then she looked down, like, who gonna check me, boo?
Let's get on with this business.
So let's go ahead and move forward.
Who's gonna check
I hope
me,
nobody
bro?
says anything, because I will find you in
I'll reach
contempt.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. She's something else, but yeah, I think like with her and Biden, McConnell, I'm like, y'all just let it go, move
it
on.
go, yeah.
Like I
Oh,
said,
McConnell for sure. Didn't he?
Yeah.
He didn't retire yet.
no, he's
no.
still
He already
there.
had two strokes on TV.
Yeah,
He's still the
I think
he's still
for the older,
Even to fall over.
Yeah.
for the older,
It's kind of like how Biden stepped aside. You should do the same.
yeah, exactly. And then that's another thing too. I think when it comes to the older statesmen, like you should have at least a half a dozen people that you've mentored that you can feel like you can hand the reins to.
Agree completely.
And be like, okay, this party's in good hands and right off in the sunset.
I agree with you 1,000%.
So
yeah,
that's my, and that's for both parties.
Yeah, there needs to be a line of succession where should something happen, God forbid, to.
Well, it's kind of like just like at our jobs, like if you're a manager, like you're supposed to be training a team that could be self-sufficient. That doesn't have like who you teach how you're doing things, how the philosophy of how the workflow should go, and all of that. So when you do step away, things still run effectively and efficiently. Yeah. Like if you shouldn't like if you fell over today, like because we never know when our number's up, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
If you fell over today, like.
How can things progress?
Who's next?
Yeah.
There should be a next one in line. Okay, so yeah, guys, so we're gonna wrap up. I mean, do we have time for final thoughts?
Yeah, I'll just give our final thoughts. Okay. As far as the debate, I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous going in because I'm just like, it's Trump and she's a black woman. I feel like I didn't want her to be him to intimidate her, which I should have known better because she's been doing this a long time and she's been in those spaces for a long time. She was a prosecutor. Like I said, she's been in these spaces for a very long time. But as soon as she came out, because they told us that Trump had won the coin toss, which means he got final remarks, and then Kamala chose what podium that she wanted to stand at. And when they came out and she went to the middle, he immediately went to his podium, and she's like, "Oh no, you're gonna shake my hand."
You finished shaking my hand.
And she immediately went behind the podium, shook his hand. Kamala Harris, have a good debate, whatever. She said some other things. And I think that set the tone for her. Like,
100%.
You're not going to
dictate how this
goes.
How she
definitely
disrespect.
You're not gonna make it look like you have the upper hand or like you're the one running the show.
Yeah. Right. And he was trying to not shake her hand to be disrespectful, to not show her the respect that she deserves.
Yes.
And so from there, I'm just like, okay, maybe this is going to go good. But she went in. I think she did a really great job of each time she was answering questions, letting people go through and letting people know who she is. This is my experience. I'm an experienced prosecutor. This is what I've done. This is what I did when I was in the Senate.
Yeah.
She definitely highlighted her accomplishments throughout her career to be able to say, hey, this is why I know I'm ready to be president on day one.
Right.
So for that, I think that's what I walked away from. She wasn't going to change my mind anyways. Trump wasn't going to win me over anyways. Yeah. But for me, I'm just like, okay, so I am more hopeful.
You'll be a scarecrow up there and I still vote for you.
Exactly.
A wash rag.
Yeah, it was. That's how I feel. But I felt like, okay, so, and this would probably be the only debate between the two of them. But I felt like she did what she needed to do. I think she 100% won that debate, rattled him. He was completely off his game, and honestly, he went up there. It made him look crazy, and I'm just like, okay.
She ate.
Yeah, she definitely left no crumbs.
No.
Yeah.
And she actually said she wants one more debate. She said that.
She did? Okay.
Today.
Oh. Okay.
But Trump said no.
I bet he did. If I was him, I mean, that would be the smart salesman thing to do.
Right.
Let me not dig myself into a deeper hole. Right. So, yeah, for my final thoughts, I mean, again, I think Kamala did a very good job with not allowing him to rattle her or take her out of her character or make her come across like an angry black woman or a person who can't keep their composure. Unlike Biden, because he did rattle him quite a bit. Yeah. And I also think that, I mean, yes, Kamala won the debate. I think she had some great points. She answered the questions. Yeah. And I liked her answers. So, yeah, ultimately, like, same thing here. I don't think I was ever going to be like, oh, well, maybe I will vote for Trump. Like, it probably wasn't going to happen, but he reconfirmed a lot of things for me. And, you know, again, I was trying to listen for a good answer from him, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm waiting. Like
Yeah.
it just,
Yeah.
he just never answers the question straight on. It's such a sales tactic. Like if you don't have the answer, people are going to like you talk in circles.
Yeah.
Tangents.
Yeah.
It's never direct.
Yeah, exactly. I think her best response was the question about abortion. I think she executed that flawlessly. And of course, Trump with his, I have a concept of a plan. When he was talking about Obamacare, I was just like, you have a concept of a plan?
They asked him, they said, what's your plan? He says, I have a concept of a plan.
We're T-minus 8 weeks.
I mean, you've been saying you're going to be president again for the last 4 years.
Yeah, even 8 years.
So you were in office for 4 years.
And
You were ran for president before those 4 years. You lost, had another 4 years,
and has no idea.
Still don't have a plan.
No.
And you overthrew Roe versus Wade. So you're not.
He's proud of that.
You're not. But then he turned around and said that he's going to protect women and their reproductive rights.
Yeah.
So I'm confused.
He's confused.
I'm confused. I thought you
We're all
wanted
confused.
to. You over. Anyways, that always pisses me off every time. Like I cannot believe he was actually able to do that.
Yeah.
Like there's no way I thought that was going to happen. It's crazy. Like
I'm not surprised.
Talked about in school like crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my final thoughts. Like, and I'm Team Kamala. So
me too. Yeah, I think for me to wrap it up, I would just say she was so elegant, so poised, and she carried herself so gracefully and so measured and never lost her cool. And at the end of the day, I think that's ultimately she won because she never got rattled.
Yeah, because that's his end game. That was his goal.
He wants her to get rattled. He wants everyone who comes.
So
in.
you lost. So he lost.
So he
he definitely lost.
Yeah.
Like overall, because again, even if he lost the debate, if he would have gotten to her at all, he would have felt like he won.
Exactly.
So, and then I know Jillian was saying like he just looked so pissed off, and like you can tell when he was mad. I'm sure him not getting to her kept pissing him off more and more and more and more and more and more.
He wouldn't even look at her.
He would not look at her once. I don't think he looked at her
He's
one
disrespectful.
time.
He didn't even want to shake her hand. So why would you want to look at her?
I loved when she laughed. Like it wasn't a fake laugh. She legitimately laughed at the cat and dog response. She was like,
oh, I know.
Pretty much. I think we all felt like that.
yeah.
So I saw a TikTok and it was like, where? With who? You were with where?
Oh, I sent you that.
With who? And it was like Kamala's facial expressions throughout the whole debate. It was hilarious.
Yeah, I sent you that.
Because it's like, that is how, when you listen to him, that is like your reaction's like, what? Huh? What'd you say? Where'd they go? Okay.
Yeah.
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 But I mean, again, so I think at the end of the day, you guys know where we're voting, but we still wanted to keep an open discussion about it because obviously, again, if you're a supporter of Trump, you're a supporter of Trump. We're just not. So
yeah, and honestly, too, we all know that he lost the debate, but also Fox News and Newsmax, their pundits also said, yeah, he lost.
Yeah.
So for them to admit that he lost, which is a huge deal, especially Newsmax.
Yes.
You lost.
Mitt
big
Romney
time.
admitted
Oh, wow.
it. Mitt Romney admitted it this morning. He said that he did a terrible job.
I thought Mitt Romney was decent. So
Yeah.
I was not like.
I never hated him.
I never hated Mitt Romney.
He's
so.
tolerable for
Yeah.
me. Like,
I just remember when he was running and I was like, I mean, I wouldn't, it
Paul
wasn't,
Ryan was his
it
running
wasn't
mate.
like, it was like
No.
the feeling when Trump was running.
It was a very different time.
Even when Obama ran against Bush, it was like, of course I want Obama to win.
Not Bush.
Oh.
Obama ran against McCain.
Oh.
And then Romney. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
so,
you're right. It's a different era.
Yeah, it was same thing.
Yeah.
What's his name?
McCain. Romney.
McCain.
Yeah.
Like I thought McCain was a stand-up man.
He's
Yeah.
a
We just have a difference of opinion as far as the
so
policy.
respectable.
Policies.
But
but again, none of those people were like, oh my God, if they win, I'm gonna die.
No, not at all.
I definitely.
But with
respected
Trump, it's like
him.
scary. It's
Yeah.
I wanted Obama
My
to win,
future's-
but if McCain won, I wouldn't have been. I'm like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Next time.
Yeah.
But
I
with
respect
Trump, it's
McCain.
like I've talked about this with Janice. Like I actually had deep anxiety. Like that night I didn't sleep. I was like stress cleaning the entire house.
Yeah, I remember you saying
And
that.
I was like, oh, damn, he got you good cleaning.
Your
Got
downstairs
me.
neighbors are like, who?
Oh no, yeah. I was just like, oh my God. Yeah, that was awful.
All right, guys. Well, we are going to get out of here. It is a weeknight, so we're going to get out of here. And I hope you guys enjoyed the debate and hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
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 And that's a wrap on the latest episode of Let Me Finish. Thank you guys for joining us for another week and listening to the latest episode. don't forget, go like, share, and subscribe on your favorite platforms. And you guys can also follow us and see us on different platforms. I am on Instagram, and that's going to be Uniquely Janice. And then I'll also be on TikTok, Janice H, GENICEH. Michael, where can they find you?
I'm only on Instagram, and it's Kasra Salimi. And by Kasra Salimi, I mean Kasra Writes, because I changed it and I just forgot. So it's KASRA Writes, WRITES.
Yes. Jillian, where can we find you?
Instagram as well, and it's New Jillian Who Dis.
New Jillian Who Dis. All right, well, we will talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.